Before we begin this morning prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Your support helps this space stay peaceful and reach those who need it most. God, before the noise of the day reaches me, I come to you as I am. No mask, no performance, no perfect plan for how everything will go. I feel the familiar tug of pressure trying to pull me out of the present, to make me rush, to make me prove, to make me hurry through a life that is meant to be lived slowly and fully. But right now, in this first quiet moment, I choose a different way. I choose to start my day with peace, not pressure. I choose steady over frantic, gentle over harsh, presence over perfection. I let my shoulders lower. I let my breath deepen. I let my heart remember that I don't have to earn the right to be here. I'm welcome in this morning just as I am. Teach me the rhythm of peace. Let it be simple and close. Inhale your calm. Exhale my tension. Inhale your kindness. Exhale my self-criticism. Inhale your clarity. Exhale confusion and hurry. Remind me that I don't need to fix everything before breakfast. I don't need to have answers for every what if. I don't need to carry the weight of the whole day at once. I can carry the next 10 minutes with care, and you will be faithful with the rest. When my mind runs ahead, gently bring it back. When my heart tightens, soften it with mercy. When the list shouts, faster, let your whisper answer slower and with love. Help me bless this body that will carry me through the day. Let peace rest in my jaw and loosen what I clench without noticing. Let peace settle across my forehead and quiet the furrow of worry. Let peace open my chest so breath can move freely and I can feel safe in my own skin. Let peace reach my hands so everything I touch is handled with care. Emails, keys, door handles, a loved one's shoulder, even the mug that warms my palms. Let peace reach my feet so I walk lightly and arrive kindly. I want a pace that honors being human, not a sprint that forgets my soul. Today, protect me from the tyranny of should. The should that says I should have done more by now. The should that says I should be stronger, faster, better, flawless. Replace it with a truer sentence, I am learning to be gentle with myself. Protect me too from the weight of comparison. When I'm tempted to stack my morning against someone else's highlight, turn my face toward what is real and close. This room, this breath, this sunrise. You painted without asking for my help. Teach me to begin with gratitude so quiet it almost goes unnoticed. The miracle of waking up, the gift of another chance, the kindness that the day is new. Let my plans be held, not gripped. I offer you the calendar, the commute, the conversations, the tasks I dread, and the ones I secretly love. I don't want to move through them with a clenched spirit. I want to move with a trusting one. If interruptions come, make them invitations to breathe. If delays appear, make them reminders that nothing essential is lost in waiting. If a door closes, help me hear the soft click of your protection more than the echo of disappointment. And when a door opens, help me walk through it without second-guessing that I'm allowed to be happy. Guard my thoughts, God. When the first anxious script starts, there's not enough time, I'll fall behind. I always mess this up. Help me answer with sentences soaked in peace. Time is enough for what truly matters. I can move one thing at a time. I'm allowed to learn. When my inner critic sharpens its tone, let me speak back with the voice I would use for a friend. Kind, patient, honest, hopeful. Let me practice talking to myself as someone worth gentleness. I am not a project to fix. I'm a person to love. Bless my boundaries today. Let no be a full sentence when it needs to be, and let yes be given from freedom, not fear. Keep me from over-promising to feel valuable or over-explaining to feel safe. Teach me that peace does not mean pleasing everyone. It means honoring what is true while staying kind. Help me send fewer apologies for existing and more quiet gratitude for small moments of alignment. The email that lands just right, the short walk that clears the fog, the sip of water that reminds me my body is a living altar. Show me how to begin my work gently, not with scrolling that scatters me, but with a breath that gathers me, not with frantic multitasking, but with one clear intention. I will bring peace into what is in front of me. Let my first task be a prayer in motion. Let my focus be an offering. Let my tones soften rooms. Let my patience hold space for others to breathe. If someone brings me their storm, keep me from standing in the rain without an umbrella. Let me listen with compassion and respond with clarity, without taking their weather into my own sky. Reframe my idea of a good day. Don't let me measure it only by boxes checked or goals crossed. Let me measure it by presence. Did I notice the light on the floor? Did I feel warmth in my chest when someone laughed? Did I forgive quickly? Did I ask for help when I reached my edge? Did I choose kindness when I was tired? Did I return again and again to the place in me where peace lives with the door unlocked? If the answer to any of these is yes, then it was a day worth living, regardless of what remained unfinished. Give me courage to be slow, where slowness is holy. Courage to rest 5 minutes instead of forcing 5 hours. Courage to pause before I reply. Courage to set the phone down and look out the window, letting my eyes touch something far away so my thoughts loosen their grip. Courage to say, I don't know yet, and let uncertainty be a hallway, not a prison. Peace thrives in honesty. Let honesty be my way. Bless the people I'll meet today, by schedule or surprise. Make me curious instead of judgmental, soft instead of sharp, present instead of distracted. Help me see each person as a mystery. You are tenderly tending, including me. If someone is short with me, let me wonder what pain they're carrying. If someone is joyful, let me receive their joy without suspicion. If someone is quiet, let me honor their quiet. Make me a small sanctuary in which others can feel safe for a moment, even if they don't know why. When perfection reaches for the steering wheel, remind me that perfection has never once loved me well. Peace has held me when I was shaking. Peace has slowed me when I was spinning. Peace has warmed me when the room felt cold. Peace has made me brave enough to be simple and human. Let perfection ride in the back seat today without directions, and let peace read the map, gentle turns, spacious margins, unhurried arrival. If fear says you're behind, let peace answer you're on time for your own life. If fear says everyone expects too much, let peace answer you are not required to carry what isn't yours. If fear says, what if this goes wrong? Let peace answer, what if grace is already here? If fear says you have to hold it all together, let peace answer, you are held. Train my senses to notice your companionship in the steam lifting from the cup, in the steady tick of a clock that does not accuse me, in the soft weight of a sweater on my shoulders, in the way the outside air greets my face at the door, in the exact sound of my name spoken kindly. Let me receive these touches as sacraments of the ordinary day, quiet proof that you are not far. And God, when I forget, and I will, make returning easy. Let the pathway back to peace be well worn. 3 slow breaths, 1 kind sentence to myself, 1 small act done with care. Let me not dramatize my detours. Let me simply come home. If the traffic is loud, be louder in love. If my inbox multiplies, multiply my calm. If plans need to change my posture before my schedule. I do not ask you to remove every hard thing. I ask you to anchor me so deeply in your nearness that no wave can convince me I am drowning. I set an intention over this day, like a soft canopy. Today I will choose peace over pressure. I will move at the speed of wisdom, not worry. I will treat my body as a friend and my mind as a garden. I will speak to others as if they will remember how I made them feel long after they forget my words. I will allow joy to interrupt me. I will let go sooner. I will start again, often. I will not scold myself for being human. I will thank you for every small mercy, because small mercies are how the day becomes holy. So here I am, with open hands and a softer heart. Bless the hours ahead. Bless the work and the rest. Bless the noise and the quiet. Bless the questions and the answers that haven't arrived yet. Hold my pace within your peace. Let this be my beginning. Let this be my way. Let this be a day started and sustained by peace, not pressure. God, thank you for helping me begin this day with softness. Now that the day is in motion, I feel the tug again to hurry, to shift into high gear, to match the noise around me. But I don't want to trade my peace for pressure just because the world moves fast. I want to stay in this slower rhythm, the one we started together. I want to carry it with me, not as something fragile, but as something powerful. Because peace is not weakness. Peace is what holds me steady when everything else rushes to the edge. Help me carry this peaceful presence into my workspace. Whether I work from home, go into an office, care for others, create, build, serve, or study, let the way I do it reflect the stillness we began with. Let people feel the calm in my voice. Let them sense that I am not rushing to prove anything. Let them wonder what it is that steadies me, and let the answer be simple and quiet. I am walking with peace today. If my tasks begin to pile up, show me how to prioritize what actually matters. Let me ask, does this need to be done? Does this need to be done by me? Can this be approached with more grace? Teach me to stop before I say yes out of habit. Teach me that urgency is not always truth. Sometimes it's just noise dressed up in fear. Let me respond from peace, not pressure. Let me decide with calm, not guilt. Let me act with care, not impulse. If the world begins to speed up around me, help me resist the need to match its pace. I don't need to spin to feel significant. I don't need to push to feel purposeful. Sometimes the most important work I'll do today will look like waiting, like listening, like leaving space where others fill it with noise. Give me the courage to be slow in a world that worships fast. The courage to be kind when sharpness would be quicker. The courage to be clear without being cold. God, be in the words I speak today. Let my tone carry peace even when I'm setting boundaries. Let my voice be strong without being loud. Let me speak only what builds, what soothes, what blesses. If I must deliver hard truths, let me do it with open hands and an open heart. If I'm misunderstood, help me not spiral. Help me clarify what I am and release what I cannot control. Let my peace not depend on everyone agreeing with me, but on my alignment with what is good and true. Help me stay tender when I feel myself tightening. Let tension be my signal, not to push harder, but to pause longer, to ask what I'm really afraid of, to check in with my body, my spirit, my heart. Let me stop mid-sentence, mid-task, mid-thought, if I need to. Let me ask, is this rooted in peace? And if it's not, let me step back and begin again. I don't have to finish everything fast. I don't have to finish everything at all. Some things can wait. Some things can be released. Some things aren't mine. Let me feel proud of what I've already done, even if it's just choosing to begin this day differently. Let me notice that I'm breathing slower than yesterday, that I've said one less harsh word, that I've chosen a calmer tone, that I paused instead of spiraled, that I sat with discomfort without letting it rush me. These are real things, holy things, fruit that grows slowly, quietly, deep beneath the surface. Remind me again, I'm not behind. I'm right on time for the person I'm becoming, the work I'm meant to do, the path I'm meant to walk. I don't need to rush to catch up. I just need to walk in rhythm with peace. That means trusting that I will not miss what's meant for me, that I can say no and the world won't fall apart, that I can rest and still move forward, that I can choose less and live more. If fear tries to hijack my thoughts, let peace interrupt the story. If my mind says you're not doing enough, let peace say you're doing beautifully with what you have. If my mind says everyone expects more, let peace say you're allowed to honor your limits. If my mind says you should be further along, let peace say growth is not a race. Stay rooted. Let peace speak back, not with force, but with truth, gentle truth, lasting truth, grounding truth. God, I don't want to perform peace. I want to live it, not just in my quiet time, but in the middle of the noise, not just in solitude, but in the swirl of demands, not just when everything feels aligned, but especially when it doesn't. That's when I need it most. That's when the practice becomes real. That's when I get to choose again. Peace over pressure, stillness over spiraling, trust over tension. So help me keep choosing it over and over again, even when it's quiet, even when no one sees, even when it doesn't feel glamorous, even when it looks like stepping away instead of pushing through, even when it means doing less, even when it means disappointing someone. Let me be someone who protects peace, not as an escape, but as a way of being. Let me protect peace in my own mind by noticing what thoughts I feed. Let me protect peace in my body by resting before I collapse. Let me protect peace in my relationships by saying what's true in a way that is kind. Let me protect peace in my decisions by not rushing. Let me protect peace in my day by pausing often to remember I am held, I am not alone. I am allowed to begin gently. And when the next hour comes, and the next task, and the next need, let me meet it with the same presence I had in prayer. Let the work become prayer. Let the movement be worship. Let the care I give be part of the peace I carry. Let me feel you not only when I'm still, but when I'm moving in your rhythm. Let peace be how I walk, not just where I sit. So here I go again into the next part of this day. Not rushing, not proving, just moving forward in peace. I trust you to meet me in the middle of it all. God, the day is unfolding now, and with it, the pace of the world continues to rise around me. I can feel it in my chest, in my shoulders, in the edges of my thoughts, trying to speed up. But I pause again, not to catch up, but to return. I return to the stillness you offered me this morning, to the peace we began with. Because even though the world accelerates, I know I don't have to match its speed. I was never made to outrun my own breath. I was made to walk in step with peace. Let me come back to your rhythm now. Even here, even mid-morning, mid-routine, mid-thought, let me return to that quiet space within where I remember who I am, not what I've accomplished, not what I've produced, not how many things I've done, but someone loved, someone carried, someone who is enough already before the next thing gets done. If I've already felt the sting of failure today, if I've already made a mistake, said something I regret, or let something slip through the cracks, let me not stay there. Let me breathe. Let me forgive. Let me move forward, not with shame, but with wisdom, not with panic, but with grace. Every moment is a chance to begin again. Let this one be exactly that. Let peace meet me here, and say, "You're still welcome. You're still safe. You can still start over." If I've drifted from my calm, help me notice it, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Where did I lose my center? What was I believing in that moment? Was it a thought of scarcity, of unworthiness, of fear? Help me speak truth to those thoughts. Let peace speak louder. Let it sound like kindness, like breath, like you don't have to figure it all out right now. Let peace take the seat beside me while I work. Let it sit quietly as I write, respond, read, listen. Let it put a gentle hand on my back when the pressure rises. Let it lean in when I forget to soften my tone. Let it catch me before I say something sharp. Let it stay near, like a friend who never leaves, who doesn't need attention but offers presence over and over again. Be with me in the places where I am tempted to hurry, not just in action, but in thought. When I rush to conclusions, when I rush to judgment, when I rush to worry, when I rush to meet expectations I never agreed to, slow me down. Remind me that peace can't be found in the future. It's only ever here, now, in this breath, in this step, in this single task I can hold with both hands and full attention. Help me return again to simplicity, to the power of choosing just one thing at a time, one response, one line, one breath. Let me remember that doing something slowly, kindly, and honestly is not a luxury. It's sacred. It's the way peace becomes real. It's how I live with purpose instead of performance. Let my presence today be a gift to others, even if they don't realize why they feel safer around me. Let it be because I'm carrying peace, not perfection. Let it be because I pause before I speak, because I listen longer, because I let go of the need to impress and instead focus on connection. Let me not be distracted by how I appear, but anchored in how I love. God, if I'm starting to feel anxious again, help me not to fight the feeling, but to tend to it gently, like a child who is scared, like a friend who needs care. What does this anxious part of me need to hear right now? Maybe it needs to hear, "You've done enough for now," or "You're allowed to take a break," or "You're not going to fall apart if you rest." Let those words be more than thoughts. Let them settle in my nervous system like a warm hand, reminding my body that it's safe to be still. Remind me that nothing truly meaningful grows out of panic, but peace builds things that last. Peace builds trust. Peace opens creativity. Peace strengthens clarity. Peace creates space for love. Let that be the foundation I work from, not urgency, not scarcity, not fear, but peace. Let peace do its slow, holy work in me. If people around me seem to be rushing, pushing, or spiraling, let me not get swept into their current. Let me stay grounded enough to be gentle in response. Let me hold space for calm, not contribute to chaos. Let me remember that I am responsible for my own energy, not theirs. That I don't have to match intensity. I can meet it with groundedness. Let me stay rooted in stillness, even when the environment is swirling. If I find myself with free moments today, a longer walk, an unexpected pause, a cancellation, let me resist the urge to fill it. Let me receive it. Let me let it be quiet. Let me let it nourish me. Let me let it remind me that I am more than my usefulness. That time is not only for production, that breathing and noticing and doing nothing at all is not wasted. It's a return. Help me not confuse being busy with being valuable. Help me not mistake exhaustion for purpose. Help me remember that you are not impressed by how much I can carry, but how much I'm willing to release. Let me release what doesn't bring peace. The habit of saying yes when I mean no. The thought that I'm only loved when I'm producing. The assumption that everything depends on me. Let me release the need to be liked by everyone, the desire to be seen as impressive, the lie that my calm makes me weak. I am allowed to be centered. I am allowed to live with less noise. I am allowed to speak with quiet conviction. I am allowed to be soft and still be strong. So I return now, again, to this moment, to the gift that it is. I slow my breath. I notice where I am. I soften the inside of my thoughts. I say, thank you for how far we've come today, for the ways I've held on to peace, for the times I remembered to breathe, for the things I've done with kindness instead of speed, for the quiet victories. Let me carry peace, not just for myself, but for the world around me. Let it ripple through my actions. Let it be felt in my presence. Let it reach the people I'll never meet simply because I chose not to live from panic today. Because I chose to stay rooted. Because I chose to stay present. Because I chose, again and again, to start and restart with peace. God, thank you for helping me carry peace through this day. As the hours unfold and I near the second half, I want to keep returning to this calm. I don't want to drift back into the pressure that called for me so loudly when I woke up. I want to end this day in the same spirit in which I began it, with slowness, stillness, and deep trust that I don't need to do everything to live a meaningful life. I just need to live it intentionally, gently, and with a heart open to your presence. Help me hold space for grace this afternoon, not just for others, but for myself. If my morning didn't go as planned, if I didn't get as much done as I hoped, if I lost my temper or forgot to pause, help me forgive myself and begin again. Let me see peace not as something I lost, but something I can always return to, again and again and again. There is no shame in that rhythm. That rhythm is what it means to be human. That rhythm is what keeps me soft. Let me close this day without harsh review, without counting what didn't happen, without rehearsing what I could have said better. Let me look back and notice I came back to presence more often than yesterday. I slowed down when I could have rushed. I spoke with care when I could have snapped. I remembered to breathe when I felt the edge. I gave myself a little more room, a little more permission, a little more grace, and that is enough. It is more than enough. Let me return again now to your peace, not as a reward, but as a right. I don't have to earn this quiet, I just have to make space for it. So I do that now. I make space, I clear the noise. I step away from the spinning thoughts. I rest in the silence where you are always waiting, and I let you hold me here, not for long, not forever, just for this breath, this moment, this sacred pause before I step into what's next. Thank you for the gentle power that peace has offered me today, for the clarity it gave my words, for the steadiness it gave my posture, for the calm it gave my presence. Thank you for the way it made room for others, for the way it shaped my decisions, for the way it gave me the strength to do hard things without hardening. I want to live like that again, tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. But for now, I simply say, thank you for today. Not because it was perfect, but because I showed up inside it with intention, because I moved slower when I wanted to rush, because I chose softness when I could have gone sharp, because I asked for help instead of pretending I was fine, because I let my soul speak a little louder than the world's noise, because I remembered you are with me. And that reminder shaped everything. Let me not carry what I don't need to carry beyond this moment, not the pressure, not the anxiety, not the guilt, not the rushing voice inside. Let me leave it here. Let me walk out of this day lighter, freer, truer. Let peace be the note that stays with me as the sun moves lower. Let it hum quietly beneath my evening. Let it be how I love, how I rest, I began this day with peace. I lived it in pieces, and now I end it with peace again. That is a full circle. That is a sacred rhythm. That is the miracle of gentleness made real. Amen.